The race to replace outgoing Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is nearing its end, with just days until the Liberal Party reveals its new leader, someone who will have to face President Donald Trump head-on about this latest round of tariffs. Now, former government House leader and Liberal leadership contender Karina Gould is joining me live now, more with why she believes she is the best person. Ms. Gould, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me again.
So the person who wins on Sunday will ultimately go on to become Prime Minister and will be immediately launched into a trade war with the U.S. If you win, will you call an election?
Well, first of all, I think we need to be focused on ensuring that we're doing everything we can to defend Canada against this completely unjustified but aggressive trade war that the United States has launched. And so I think the energy of the country needs to be focused in the immediate in defending our economy and defending our sovereignty. Look, we know with Donald Trump that things can change in a matter of minutes, hours, and days. So I'll make the decision that is best for Canada at the time.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, though, has described this as economic warfare to facilitate the annexation of Canada. That is a history-making statement. Do you not think, given the gravity of the situation, you would need a mandate from all Canadians as opposed to just those in your party?
Well, I think what we need is to ensure that the energy of everyone in this country is focused on defending Canada and we're not distracted by an election. But that being said, we are in a minority government, so it would need to work with the other political parties to do just that. But my job as Prime Minister, if I'm to be selected on Sunday, is to make sure that I am fighting for Canadians every single day and standing up for Canadians. And I think you can best do that in government, defending the interests of Canada.
So to be clear then, would you recall Parliament or avoid recalling Parliament to stave off an election?
Parliament is coming back on March 24th, so I would continue with that plan and to ensure that we're bringing people together. But one of the first things that I would do as Prime Minister is meet with all the opposition leaders, is meet with the premiers to really ensure that we have a Team Canada approach, because we need to ensure that we are doing everything. Every single person in this country, I'm meeting people right across the country who, when they go to the grocery store, are choosing Canadian products, who are canceling their trips to the United States, who are doing what they need to do as everyday Canadians, and that's what we as leaders need to do as well.
I want to talk to you about one of your policies, because Donald Trump has said that he wants to move Canadian manufacturing to the U.S. He wants to cut corporate federal taxes to encourage investment there, and what you're proposing is to do the exact opposite. You want to raise federal corporate taxes from 15% to 17% on big profit companies. Do you still think, now that we are launched in this trade war, and when Canadian companies will be really fighting for their survival if these tariffs continue, do you think now is the right time to do that?
Yeah, still, because these are on the most profitable companies. So these are companies that earn more than $500 million a year in profit, and the corporate tax rate federally in Canada would still be lower than what it is in the United States. But what we also need to do is to make sure that we are fighting fire with fire. I think dollar for dollar retaliatory tariffs are a good start when it comes to the United States, but the only way that a bully responds is with strength. And so the first thing that I would do as Prime Minister is work with Premier Ford, for example, to say, what can we do on electricity in the United States? To work with others when it comes to potash, for example. The U.S. farmers, American farmers, depend on Canadian potash for their fertilizers. Maybe we halt the exports of fertilizer to the United States. I think we need to have a really strong, really robust response so that Donald Trump and his folks in the White House understand that they don't just need Canada, they depend on us, and this trade war needs to end immediately, because the objective is for these tariffs to be removed and to be taken off the table. Our economy and our sovereignty is not up for negotiation.
I have about 1 minute left, so I wanted to ask you very quickly. On Sunday, all available metrics point to Mark Carney running away with this race. How do you convince Liberals in the final days of this campaign that they should vote for you?
Well, I'm hearing so much support from Liberals across the country who know that I'm committed to being a Liberal. I'm committed to Liberal values. And what I hear from them is that they believe in me and they believe in my vision. And so for me, it's giving them...
Wouldn't that have been reflected, though, like in the public polling numbers and in your fundraising?
Well, it is reflected in what I hear from Canadians across this country who are proud of what we have done as Liberals and who want to run as Liberals in the next election. And so my message to them is vote with who you think is going to be the best person to lead our party as Liberals, but also to lead our country. And, you know, I am so encouraged by what I'm hearing from folks. And so it's about getting out there and voting, reminding people who have registered that they have to have their ID verified by Friday at 5 p.m. so that they can cast their ballot on Sunday.
Okay, Karina Gould, I unfortunately have to leave it there. I'm out of time, but thank you so much for making time for the conversation.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having me.
you being here.
My pleasure.
And just to be fully transparent with our audience, we have asked Mark Carney to come on our show for an interview multiple times. His campaign has declined every request. We've also extended an invitation to leadership candidate Chrystia Freeland to appear on the show in these last few days, and her campaign has also declined.